Well, in 4 relatively short years, they have been able to identify the intermediate steps of differentiation of the myelin-producing cells, the oligodendrocyte. They've demonstrated just today, for the first time for me, that the normal animal has regenerative potential, so that if you once knock out the myelin-producing potential of that animal in a short amount of time, in 3 weeks in a rat, they begin making new cells that make myelin, and leads the interesting question of whether or not the regenerative potential in an MS patient is intact or not. Goes back to the central question of whether MS is really a disease of the immune system or of the oligodendrocyte repair process. And I think that at this point, knowing what we know now about animals, and with the tools that we have to evaluate human tissue and responses, that it is possible to begin to get an answer to that question in MS patients. And so I think the hope is that the desire within of the original setup of the company, that within 5 years that one would have targets that would be of interest to biotechnology companies or large pharma, is probably pretty close to correct. That is, there will be such targets, and I think it is likely to bear fruit. The measure of success in the short term for the MRF is that very soon there will be sufficient information that would be of interest to industry to move the resources necessary to go after specific MRF identified targets for therapy in MS patients. I think that is very close to being achieved. The long term for MRF would be to see one or more of those targets being successfully approached in human patients. I've been interested in MS for many years, first at Biogen, and I have a daughter who has early stage MS. And it is reassuring that not just Myelin Repair Foundation, but a few biotech companies are beginning to think about the potential repair of myelin, and that's reassuring.